You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.
Hi, Bron.
6 o'clock. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Hi, everybody. How we doing?
Of course, Dad's mic starts falling right as the podcast started. Remember, we were doing it like that. And then...
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
There you go.
So last night, which I told you, I'm going to tell everybody. So it's like we get home. It was Saturday night. Went out with Adam and Alex, nice dinner. And we go and get home. Dog goes out on the roof to start running. You know, all good. Starts throwing up around 11:30, 12 o'clock. I want to go to bed. I want to get up early, do my routine on my Sunday. I have to take him to a 24-hour fucking vet. Worried about him because he might have bloat. $1,400 later, I get home at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning, and guess what?
Nothing.
Completely fine.
Yeah.
But you got to do that. So
I know, but dogs are a pain in the ass. I love dogs, but having a pet is a pain in the ass.
It never, ever happens Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon. It's always holidays or evening.
Yep. Whenever Mickey would get sick, it would be Thanksgiving,
New Year's.
Yep.
And
Halloween.
I had to muzzle him.
Why?
Because it wasn't Butzer's office, so they wouldn't let me in the back when they go to x-ray him. And it was I know it sounds terrible, but a technician, you know, like a worker.
What are you trying to say?
And so what happened?
Did it look more like Kamala or Trump?
Look more like Kamala. And, you know, Banks, unfortunately.
Well, Dad would train Banks. Dad would hold up a picture of Kanye West and then zap the dog.
And gay people,
and then he would
too.
hold up a picture of Michael Phelps and he would reward him.
No,
so our dog became
I never
racist.
did that. I knew. But he was a nice guy in the world. So I said he's not that friendly with some people and all dogs.
With some people.
But I had to muzzle
Who you calling some people?
No, because he said I have to pick your dog up and put him on and hold him. Banks would bite him. I think anybody other than you or me picking him up, I think he'd bite him.
Or would just not be with it. Yeah, he wouldn't like it.
And then when you went to give him the rectal, he doesn't like, for some reason, Bank doesn't like that shit in his thing.
What do you mean for some reason? Who likes shit up their
No, but
ass?
some
Gay
dogs
people
didn't
bite.
care. So he went to, I had to hold Banks because he would bite him.
Yeah.
But
that's understandable.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But he's fine.
Yeah.
But
Dogs
what
are a pain in the ass.
Fucking waste of money and time.
Yes, but better that than him
if
have
he
died.
I'd be like, don't worry about it now. He'll be fine.
Right,
in
and
the
then you
morning.
wake up and he's dead.
And then we make a rug out of him. Would have been terrible, right?
Would have been a pretty big rug. Would have filled up a spring bed.
So that's where we're at. It was but he's okay.
Good.
Just thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, thank you.
How you doing? So it's nice to have I have Bronson, Hannah, and Bryce up for lunch. We had a nice day, and now we're doing our pod.
Yeah, I feel we did one last week, but it feels like a while since
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I feel like it's been a couple weeks, but we did one last week.
Yeah, and
then we have a Patreon coming out this week. So for those this is your free episode as you guys are listening, obviously. But for $5 a month, we do extra episodes. We're still figuring out like the amount of them we're doing, but this month we'll probably do 2 extra episodes in the month for $5. Those have always been our better episodes. And if you join Patreon too, which low-key, like the real reason to join is you get 154 episodes unlocked
in a second
for you. So you can go back, and I truly think some of our best episodes have been the Patreons because you can just say more, you know.
Right.
It's behind a paywall, so you can say what you really want to say. Not that we don't say what we really want to say, but.
And I met nice couple on Thursday. They listen. Shout out to Rose. Just want to say hello, Rose. Thanks for being a loyal listener and follower. So appreciate it.
So if it's patreon.com/daddyissuespod and go join that. And we're having one.
What is it again?
Patreon.com/daddyissuespod. And we're going to have another one come out this week. So go do that, and then you can get another episode. It's funny because when I signed up for all of our accounts, you know, they ask you what your name is, and I always would do it like Daddy Issues Podcast as the name of the account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they'll email me, and like Google will email me, or YouTube, right? To be like, you know, whatever, some administrative thing. They'll email and be like, "Hi, Daddy." And then they'll start the email because the first name of our account is Daddy, and the last name is Issues.
Oh.
So it's just funny. Sometimes I'll get an email from YouTube that'll be like, "Hi, Daddy, your new video is uploaded." Like, it's funny. Just thought I'd share with you.
Thanks for sharing.
Speaking of just funny little things that are kind of nonsensical, and this proves, so it's actually, I had it written down because I wanted to share it with you, and this coffee actually proved the point that I was going to make. So it actually worked perfectly. The person who made this coffee today was just like a normal looking dude, right? And I don't like this coffee. I'm of the mindset, I'm not going to put the company on blast. I'm going to turn around the logo. I'm of the opinion, and I think this is 100% true, that the more gross, lib, Antifa, blue-haired, fat, non-binary, the barista, the better the coffee. That's like fully the only place where I want those type of people.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know why that is, but every time I go to a cafe and the barista, I'm like, oh, they would be in an encampment on a college campus. I'm like, this coffee's going to fucking rock. But then when there's someone who isn't that, if it's me behind the counter, I'm like, fuck, this coffee's going to suck. And it was a normal guy today, and this coffee kind of is ass.
Why is it not good?
I just think the actual taste of it is like, it's got a weird taste to it.
Okay.
I don't know what like the notes are or whatever, but baristas always are like kind of lib or whatever.
Yes.
But like when I was in New York last month, the best coffees that I got were from like disgusting trainees, you know, like the dirtier.
I don't want that.
And the more like, if it's a dude with a beard and long hair and tits because it's on like little tits because it's been on estrogen,
you're an idiot.
then I'm like, this coffee is going to be incredible. And I stand by that. And I feel like everyone listening, if you know what's up, you agree with me. But you don't have any thoughts on that, I guess?
I think you're weird.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
wouldn't want to. I don't know. I wouldn't.
No, I don't want them touching the coffee, but now I've accepted. Oh, I'm like when I go to my favorite coffee shop in Miami is Panther Coffee. And every time you walk, Miami has no like Antifa, non-binary people, right? Like that doesn't exist in Miami. But the few that there are, they're always in Panther Coffee behind the counter. And Panther Coffee is my favorite coffee. And you walk in and it's fat, sweaty, non-binary people that you're like, I truly don't know.
Sweat getting the coffee makes a difference.
Or maybe it's like the lib, like, you know, the progressive aura that, but for some reason.
Well, now I'm going to be conscientious of that.
Boca is hard because there's not really any non-binary people in Boca.
And I have a loyalty, and I like Carmela's coffee the best.
Yeah. But I think maybe it's more of a city thing than a town thing because, you know, Boca doesn't have non-binary people.
I get it.
But that is my my philosophy in life.
Well, maybe I bet you
the more disgusting that the barista is, the better the coffee.
People listening are going to let you know about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's my axiom, and it's been proven to be true. So I will keep. It's like, you know, the theory of gravity or like theory of evolution. It's like you accept it until it's disproven. So I'm going to accept this theory until it's disproven.
You do that, Bronny.
And this proved it today. This coffee's ass.
What's ass taste like?
This coffee. Yeah, so that's that. I just wanted to just state that.
Thank you for sharing that, Home Love.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Do you have anything else that any shower thoughts that you'd like to share before we talk about
this thing's so. You know, speaking of, I was in Carmela Coffee yesterday. Get my coffee because I find it very like therapeutic.
The ritual, the routine,
and I like my routine.
Yep.
And this girl walks in. I even showed her to mom. Her thighs.
You showed her to mom. You took a picture.
No, when she walked out, I was in the car with mom. Her thighs were the size of my torso. She's wearing short shorts.
Yeah,
no, short shorts.
Flaunting the thick thighs.
No. It almost ruined my coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she probably makes a good coffee.
Okay. What the fuck? Seriously, what the fuck? I don't even know. It's not even worth talking about it. But what does he say? Like, what the fuck? It's unbelievable. Does the person not even know? Bronny. When I go,
I don't think there's that.
It's so bizarre. It's so fucking bizarre.
Yeah, but like, she lives her own life.
I'm not saying she can't do what she wants.
It bothers you.
But no, I have to look at it.
Yeah.
Don't you say there's a difference? I have to look at it.
Was she ugly?
Not attractive and big chick. Like she had 6'1", 6'2".
Oh wow!
It was not a guy. But don't you have any self-respect? And the belly's showing and everything's tight. I don't know.
She's being who she is.
Nah, it's fucked up.
Speaking of women being who they are, my favorite woman in the world right now. We talked a little bit about it at brunch, but I feel like we got to talk about the Olympic breakdancing.
Okay.
Because Raygun is the best woman in the world.
Okay, so now how is it
so fucking cool?
So explain. So breakdancing.
Although technically the sport in the Olympics is called breaking. It's, they have swimming, diving, breaking is what it's called.
I don't understand how breakdancing is a sport in the Olympics. Has it always been?
No, this is the first year.
Of course it is. It's fucking retarded.
This is the first year.
Bronson.
I don't know who was vouching for that, because there are a lot of sports in the world, and there are a lot that aren't in the Olympics.
That should be.
Or not even that they should be, but
Is
that they should be
is
over.
pickleball in it now?
No, but tennis is.
Tennis I'm fine with.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
tennis
a real sport.
Tennis is one of the hardest sports,
right.
in fact. Literally one of the hardest.
So, but breakdancing, and they're not even good breakdancers.
No,
it was comical. I could do what they did. Pull up that video.
So
I could do what that person did.
There are literally...
Bronson.
There are videos from like the World Breakdancing
This
Championships.
blows curling away.
In terms of a lame sport.
Like the joke is the funniest thing in the world. You would think it's a Saturday Night Live skit.
Well, so there have been a lot. I mean, the memes that have come from it too are great. But so, there have been videos that have been shared of like the World Breakdancing Championship or whatever, which is just like a dance meet,
No, those are cool. They make
and you
movies.
watch
They
them?
do movies. They're very talented.
Yeah, and you watch these videos and you're like, whoa, where was this in the Olympics? This is fucking sick. I mean, still, it's not an Olympic sport. They're just spinning on their head.
Okay, America's Got Talent, those dancers.
Yeah.
There's a talent. Those are, by the way, they're artists. They're not athletes. There's a difference. A professional dancer is an athlete.
Dancing is an athlete. But dancing isn't even in the Olympics, and breakdancing
These are artists that when you watch America's Got Talent, they're phenomenal.
But why is breakdancing in the Olympics and not dancing? Dancing is the better version of breakdancing.
Who comes up with this
breakdancing has dancing in the name.
Do you think the person that said on Miller Lite said, yes, let's go with that idea? Bud Light. They said, let's go with that idea. When that person got fired, they went on the Olympic committee?
I don't know how
it makes no sense.
And also, the thing about the Olympics, too, is that it's about sports that are played across the world, right? Like football, American football isn't in the Olympics because it's really only played in Canada and America, even though it's one of the biggest sports in the world. Breakdancing is that done in every country in the world. I've never met a breakdancer in my entire life.
And
never.
They were terrible.
No, they weren't terrible. They were amazing.
You're joking, right?
They were amazing. By the way, so Reagan we'll get to because she's the best one. She's the breakdancer from Australia. But there was a guy from Latvia or Lithuania, which is like...
Same difference.
The whitest countries in the world, right? There's not a single... First of all, so breakdancing it was like invented by black people, right?
Why is it black people? Why'd you say that?
It was invented by black people. So you wouldn't... And then, first of all of the people who were in the breakdancing competition were white.
Why didn't they go to people from New York City streets that jump over 800 people on the side corner? You know?
Those are better than all the Olympics.
Those are 100%.
So the guy from Latvia or Lithuania or whatever, one of them, which has 0 black people in the entire country. He was this little white guy, came out in a do-rag, he was bald, right? So the only reason you wear a do-rag, like at least in the black culture, is because
you don't want
it protects their hair.
The matting of the hair.
Yeah, it like protects their hair, whatever. So Latvians don't have black hair, so they don't need to wear that. And this guy didn't even have hair, so he didn't need to wear it. And then his name was Nicka. Nicka. That was his breakdancing name.
First of all, the way you said it, and you paused, and you started to laugh.
How funny.
Because you waited for my reaction. But you couldn't even wait for my reaction.
No, Nicka. That's his name. A Latvian guy coming on the breakdancing Olympic breakdancing stage with a do-rag, and they introduce him. Now, Olympian Nicka.
How is
it? Come on. It literally feels like it was made up.
How is it even possible that it's even a sport in the Olympics? It's a joke.
It's not going to be after this one, right? Everyone has been shitting on it so much in this Olympics that there's no way they're going to
continue. But how did they even come about that? That's my point.
How did that get into the Olympics?
That's what I just said.
Even like...
4 times.
I agree with you.
Okay.
That's what I'm agreeing. Even when I was watching the Olympics this past week, I was watching skateboarding, and I was like, skateboarding shouldn't be in the Olympics.
100%.
Okay, here's the thing. Skateboarding is extremely difficult. And these tricks that these people do is insane. Me or you
but
could
it should not
never
be in the
do
Olympics.
it. But it's a...
I agree.
I hate to say this.
It's a hobby.
But it's a low sport. It's like a street sport. It's not... The Olympics is about like...
No, competitive.
And it's high level, you know?
I agree.
So I didn't even think that surfing or skateboarding should be in the Olympics. Although I think those are incredible sports.
Surfing's a tough call because
I don't think surfing should be in the Olympics because it's hard to judge. That's
what I was just going to say. How do you judge that?
So they send two people out at the same time. They have 30 minutes. Because I was like, how is this?
But the wave could be different for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It feels so unfair.
Yeah, that's not a... I was just
one person can get an incredible swell and then they're just constantly
Look at
getting
you.
waves.
Cowabunga, bro. Hang 10.
But then someone can get like nothing, and
Right.
they have
no rip curl,
waves.
no tunnel, nothing, right?
No, but for real, exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
So with other sports, you're going directly. There's no
Competition. It's
There's
competition.
no other elements that are influencing the sport. It's just you versus the other person.
Unless it was Hot Tub Time Machine and then the squirrel came out during the pass.
So I didn't even think that those should be sports, but then breakdancing is
Play it.
1,000
Play it.
levels lower
The
than that.
funniest thing in the world.
So this woman, Rachel Gunderson or something, from Australia, she's 38.
For those who are not watching, you need to watch this. It's hysterical. It literally is. You would think it's a fucking joke.
She it is so funny. I
It's a
love her so
joke.
much. She has a PhD in like cultural interpretive movement, right? So
That's in of itself is a joke.
yeah,
Someone paid money for that?
yeah. And then she was chosen as the Olympic representative in breakdancing. She's a 38-year-old white woman.
No,
And
terrible.
she was chosen.
Brian,
as the
I
Olympic
would blow her away.
And then she comes out onto the stage and just, I don't even, it's so funny.
I
we'll
would
play some
blow.
of the
By the way,
videos.
Brian, you have no rhythm. You would blow her away.
Oh my God, 100%.
You have no rhythm.
I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's hysterical. I want to watch it.
She thought she ate it.
That's her?
Yeah. Look, that was her move for this one. Boom! Just puts her arms up in T-Rex. That was her one move. And then she walks off like, I fucking ate it. Look at her. She puts her hands out. And then let's see. Here's another one.
This is hysterical.
Oh, sick. Oh, yeah.
Look.
Boom. 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 Oh!
Here we go, Ray gun.
She's a legend.
Okay,
I
Bronson,
love
Bronson,
Ray Gun.
How can it be possible?
Ooh. Go. 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 Go.
Who's the guy in the back stand up
Nika. Look, Nicka. That's Nika. Look at her.
Battles.
Look at her.
They're saying a couple battles here. Look.
She's...
People watching this?
Oh, it's so funny.
No.
Look, she's just touching her hand to her hat.
No,
That's all she's
Bronson,
doing.
It's not even.
She's an
not even
Olympian.
good.
Okay, that was the only impressive thing she's done. Nika.
What? Look at it.
Let's go, Ray Gun.
Did she win?
No. I love Ray Gun.
It's impossible. This is even the Olympics.
Interview of
No
her.
way.
Yeah, this is her. This is Ray Gun. Let's see from her herself.
Good day, guys. It's me, Aussie breaker Ray Gun. Let's break.
There's
No,
no.
this
way.
is a spoof. There was one interview of her
I would blow her away.
that I wanted to. Let's see.
Breakdancing will not be at the next.
No. I want to see. There was an
Oh,
interview where she was talking about how she studied cultural movement, and that's why she should have been chosen.
She's terrible.
No, she's so funny.
No, she's terrible.
Let's see, Ray Gun interview maybe.
If you type in any inner city breakdancers, they would blow her away. She's that bad. Oh my God! This
here,
fucking
let's see.
world's
This
over.
is
Let's
her.
see 1 minute. This world's fucking over.
I'm doing things that I never thought I'd be able to do. Like I never thought I'd be able to spin on my head, and now I can spin on my head, and that's just wild to me.
Which any black person
By
could do.
day,
Any person
Dr.
can.
Rachel Gunn is a lecturer at Sydney's Macquarie Uni.
Everyone, we're in week 7 now. Portfolio 1 due at the end of this week. Somehow they'll see me something on TV or something on Instagram, and they'll go, "Wait, is this you?" And that definitely distracts the class.
Class
Look at her.
Rachel becomes Ray Gun. Dancing is also part of her academic journey.
There's no
her
way.
PhD focused on breaking.
Or it's just on
PhD.
breaking. A PhD in breaking.
Okay, let's move on. That's fucking pathetic.
I love her.
It's fucking pathetic.
Ray Gun is what the Olympics is all about.
Now type in the
Let's just
real
see
deal.
Best break dancing.
Yeah, the real fucking deal. You'll see, it like blows it away. No,
They're
it
all showing
comes
Ray Gun.
up.
They're all showing Ray Gun.
Oh my God, people are laughing. Fucking
Here,
retarded.
breaking Olympic qualifier. Now let's just see like a video of black people.
No, look at that.
These are Asians.
Yeah, these guys are good. Wow, they're talented, aren't they?
I mean, yeah, this is just cool dance for sure.
Yeah, I liked how they do that sync shit.
Let's see. I know there's like really cool videos. Let's see. Breakdancing championship. It's going to give me all the Olympic stuff because it's just That's what's trending.
It's comical.
But the memes that have come from it.
Unbelievable.
What's this? This is. Yeah, this is going to be good for sure. This is a Japanese girl who won the breakdancing championship.
What?
I mean, it's still a little funny, to be honest.
Yeah. The guys are better.
How is this a sport?
Oh my God. People go to watch
This also kind of feels a little like cultural appropriation, doesn't it? Because she's like clearly trying to be black.
Why, it's a black thing?
Here's a black chick. Yeah, of course it is. What do you mean? You said
I'm
any
teasing
black
you.
guy on the...
Teasing you.
This is logistics.
Oh my God. Let's
It's
move
still
on.
all lame. But Ray Gun,
Idiots.
shout out Ray Gun.
No shout outs. Fucking shows you the Olympics. I won't even watch the Olympics.
I've actually really enjoyed watching the Olympics this year.
I won't watch with the way they started it, the whole fucking thing, the testicle hanging out, the fucking transgender shit, the religious mockery.
But I've enjoyed the games aspect of it. Like, forget about the opening ceremony or whatever. Like, I've been watching the games. Bryce, Hannah, and I have been watching it pretty much every night. They've been enjoyable. Like, the athletics have been really good. Like, every single sport, a world record has been broken this year, which also, that amazes me too. Bryce and I were having this conversation.
It's all, by the way, a lot of statistics are involved.
I know, but so every year now, the world records keep getting broken. It's like, that can't keep lasting. We can't keep getting better and better.
How do
at a
cars
certain
even
point,
get faster and faster?
Right, but so let's take it with cars too. At a certain point, we're going to hit a ceiling, and then we cannot be faster than that. But then, what's going to happen, right? Like, if sports keep getting better and better.
People want to watch competition. There's no question about it. You're not watching to see who gets the world record. You're watching because of the competition in of itself.
Yeah, but if it's like, once it plateaus, it's not going to be a setting.
No, you'll still 100%. You still watch it.
But then think about cars. Once cars plateau and you can't keep getting better and better cars, what's going to happen?
Then they change the design, they change the interior, they make things more luxurious.
But how can you keep making things more luxurious?
They do. They have done it. They do.
I know, but eventually they're not going to be able to.
Well,
eventually they're not. There's no way.
What do you mean? If Burke was in a car that was self-driving.
Yeah, okay.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, let's go back for a second about the
Olympics.
Wait, I was just going to say something about the sports. Oh, the technology, I mean, the stats, really, which I never thought like a couple years ago, oh, they're making stats out of it now, like big deal.
Oh, no, it's a science.
It's truly a science. It's changed the world in the performance ability of high-end athletes. Like Scott was telling me about his daughter, what the routine she goes with and the stats and
it's all like pre-programmed.
The eating, the training, the interval levels, the cold plunge, the hot.
Well, I guess that's the other thing too, like the statistics and the technology, like the knowing the nutrients,
the science,
and the knowing like, okay, we need to eat these specific things to perform at max capacity. Where 100 years ago, or even 30 years ago, athletes just kind of ate and then they would perform.
And you put ice on it.
Yeah.
But today it's very, very, very different.
Right, but so yes, and with all that stuff, all the sports keep excelling, and people keep getting better and better. But there is a cap to the human body can only go a certain position.
I don't think people are. There'll always be people that will strive to still get it, even though, if, let's say, for example, where now if you keep improving and there'll eventually be a cap, then a victory might come in, let's say, 1/100th of a second, as opposed to a second faster.
Yeah,
So, but I think,
but then it also makes it unfair because, like this year, at the Olympics, especially in the sports where it really is like technical, swimming, running, right? The sports where it's like you can maximize your potential with nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like fencing.
Training. Let's call it training.
Yeah, but like there are certain things that like basketball, yes, you can definitely maximize potential with training, but a lot of that is skill. It's not really like what you eat, because a lot of basketball players, they might eat like shit and they're still good. But running, swimming, it's like you're getting down to like milliseconds. Mm-hmm. So those sports are dominated by the wealthy countries because we have the money to put into the athletes.
Yeah, but that's just the way it is in life.
Sure, but then it's also like, then what's the Olympics about? It's not actually anymore about athletic talent. It's about who can spend more money training people to become better.
Or is it better who can train better?
No, but
different.
now training is all about money. Because
Okay,
but 50 years ago, you would have some Russian guy, right? Or like, although the Russians put a lot of money in. But let's say you would have some like guy from Estonia who would train forever and just train with a 50-pound bag on his farm. And he would make it to the Olympics because of his raw talent and grit. And he would beat an American who had coaches and everything, right? And that was like, wow, what an Olympic story. But now that person, no matter how hard they train, they're never going to compete against an American who has 75 people monitoring every BMI.
What about Formula One, where you say that Mercedes has more money than, let's say, this one?
Right, but so what they did is they changed the rule. That's exactly what was happening. F1, the teams that had more money were there was no competition. So F1 had to change the entire rules of the system and put a money cap. And now all teams they cannot spend more than a certain amount.
So maybe the Olympics will have to do that down the road.
I would hope that I want them to do that, because what I'm saying is the Olympics, as we saw this year, it's not really about talent. It's about training.
But let's go one step further. Remember, you always have those debates with professional versus amateur athletes and whether or not LeBron James, we got the gold in basketball.
Okay, so the argument that has been in our family forever is, should professional athletes
be allowed to participate?
Yeah. So I guess the argument is, should the Olympics be open to whoever, or should you only be able to be an amateur? If you're already getting paid for your sport on a professional level, you shouldn't be.
Right.
And I'm of the mindset of the Olympics, the whole point of it is it's the best competing against the best, so that the person who comes out on top, everyone in the world can say that's the best person in the world at X. That's the best person in the world at Y.
Mom feels, and Uncle Adam feels differently.
A lot of people. My girlfriend disagrees with me.
Okay.
She thinks that,
well, she's going to go with her mom.
If you're a professional, you shouldn't be able to compete in the Olympics because you already have made it in your sport. And I just disagree, because let's say we didn't have LeBron playing basketball in the Olympics, right? And we just got a bunch of, B-tier basketball players who couldn't make it into the NBA. And then they play, and let's say they win even, right? They wouldn't, but let's say they do. Now the whole world is like, wow, they're the best they won the gold in the Olympics, but now everyone also knows, but they're clearly not the best. LeBron James wasn't able to play, Steph Curry wasn't able to play.
In the Olympics?
Yeah, in the Winter Olympics.
Right.
Because there was that whole miracle on ice.
Miracle, right.
Yeah.
So do professional hockey players play in that?
Yeah, of course. We're not good at it. Most of the professional hockey players are Canadian, Norwegian, Finnish, Russian.
So could there be
there's not that many Americans.
Like Barkov, who plays in America, the Panthers, he would
go to Finland or wherever he's from
and
play on the Finnish team. To play on the American team, you have to be an American citizen. I don't think he's an American citizen.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But anyways, that's my stance on it. And, people will feel differently, and there's no right or wrong answer. Mine is the right answer. But anyways, yeah. But I do think it's a shame that we live in a time where things are so great and everything is so maximized by computers and eventually AI and everything. And we've talked about this, actually. Remember we talked about what's the word for it? There's a word for that. There's a term for this phenomenon, how culture's kind of stuck because everything's kind of the same, right? Like cars nowadays versus cars 20 years ago don't really look that different.
No, they're very similar.
Where cars in the 90s versus cars in the 70s.
Very distinct. Very distinct.
If you took cars, even cars in 1950 to 1955, it's like, whoa. And then 1955 to 1970, it's like those are completely different. Now, really, cars, refinement culture. That's the word for it. Okay. Everything's just being refined. Sports too, right? Like that's the term for what we're talking about. Sports have been so refined by technology and analytics and stats that eventually it's just going to be like everyone's going to be the same. Everyone's going to be able to run exactly the same pace at exactly the same time, and it's not fun anymore. Cars aren't really fun anymore. Every once in a while, that's why the Cybertruck was such a phenomenon. Is because it didn't look like any other car.
Right.
But 30, 40 years ago, every new car that came on the road looked completely different than the one before it. Nowadays, every house, they even call them McMansions. They all look the same. Where back in the day, it's like, house that, we even say this nowadays, I want a house that has character. I want an old house. But it's like, no, we can build houses with character. We just don't do it because everything looks the same. Because people do it for refinement. Because they're like, why would I risk building a house that I like the style of, but I'm not going to be. It might be risky to sell it,
right?
Because not everyone would like the style. But it's like, no, that's not why you shouldn't build a house refined so that it can
when you
sell
it.
Yeah, back in the day, they used to build houses for aesthetics, not for resale value. It's just
different time.
I know, but it's a shame.
It's
There's like nothing is really unique.
We have a lot
anymore.
of problems. Speaking of problems, let's talk about Kamala and
Walz.
Walz.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Walz. Which, first of all, Harris and Walz is a recipe for disaster for apostrophes, right? Like, how would you spell out if you were like doing like Walz's rally?
WLZ apostrophe S.
Z apostrophe S.
Has
I don't
to
know
be.
if it is. Or is it Z
Has-
S apostrophe? Walz's rally.
It depends on how you're using it.
Or Harris's rally. Right, but what are those rules?
Well, what are those rules?
Right, I don't like. That's what I'm saying. It's at least Trump's rally. You always know how to spell that. Harris's rally. I don't know. Is it HARIS apostrophe? Is it HARRIS apostrophe S? I mean, I don't know why. These aren't the most important things in this race.
There's
but
not only is it not the most important, there's no importance to that.
no, there is. That's a bad look on
So,
their ticket.
This guy's very far left.
Yes.
And further, more progressive than her even.
He was the governor of Minnesota when all the riots happened there.
Right, but
the riots for George Floyd, they started in Minnesota. That was like the epicenter.
So,
and
if she wins, it's a big problem.
So my biggest worry about that whole pick is that she was supposed to pick Josh Shapiro.
He's also a cocksucker dick.
Well, yeah. So let's talk about that. Why are you saying? Because he rejected his Judaism.
I mean,
right?
you're fucking all for the vote. Like, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. So
he
that's what I wanna talk
apologized for his bar mitzvah having the Israeli thing.
Yep.
Like, okay.
Yep.
Could you whores have more integrity?
Yep. He's a loser.
No, he's a fucking piece of shit.
He abandoned his identity so that he could be VP. First of all, the fact that he even had to. That's what I want to talk about. The fact that so Josh Shapiro, who's the governor.
And let's talk about Pelosi afterwards. The whole thing with Biden.
What whole thing?
You didn't how she went on a radio talk show and she's the one that got Biden to. This shows you how you're gonna look. We'll look it up. This shows you.
She doesn't even have an elected position currently.
But she's still powerful. Her and Obama. Obama doesn't have an elected official.
But at least Obama was president. Like,
okay, but listen, we need to talk about Pelosi in a moment because people need to understand, and all our listeners understand. But people understand that there's no democracy in how this happened. Zero. I mean, it's a major problem. Let's go back about. Let's talk about
Josh Shapiro is the governor of Pennsylvania, which it's also like so annoying that they chose. Although I guess Trump did it too, but that's just the way of the game. Is you have to choose a VP candidate who's from a swing state.
Correct.
You just have to. So if you listening in to this episode, if you're like, I have goals of becoming a politician and work my way up and maybe become president or vice president one day, go move to a swing state right now and then work your way up in that because you're going to be more valuable. The governor of Florida is never getting the VP. Actually, Florida was a swing state, not really anymore. Let's say the governor of California is never getting the VP nom when Minnesota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Iowa, they need those states. Florida used to be, not so much anymore. So Josh Shapiro was the governor of Pennsylvania, and he was like the shoo-in. He was the one that was going to be the VP. But the problem, and even full on CNN, they were saying, and I was shocked to even hear these things. CNN was like, yes, Josh Shapiro is the front runner, but Kamala Harris is a big problem because he's Jewish. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Would anyone ever
crazy though?
Would they say that about
out
anything
loud.
else?
Say that out loud,
They
right?
wouldn't even say that about Muslim. They wouldn't say, "Oh, she's got a big problem because he's Muslim."
Correct.
They would never.
But they say it about Jews.
And it's like, yes, they are telling the truth. It is a problem because if you are trying to get votes, being Jewish will be held against you.
Right.
But the fact that that's even the case, and the fact that they just blatantly say it out loud is crazy.
Yeah. It's all anti-Judaism.
So he was like fully the front runner, and then all this stuff came out where people were. Because the Democrats are in a really tough situation, and Kamala is in a tough situation because a bedrock of the left has been the Jewish vote. There aren't a lot of Jews in this country, right? There's way less than Muslims in terms of like population of individuals and actual voting power. But the Jewish voting population has been powerful in money and influence in Washington, right? Like AIPAC. There's not that many Jews, but AIPAC is like one of the biggest lobbyists. Like the Jews in Washington have a lot of money and a lot of power over, not power over, but power within Washington and politicians. So Kamala has to, and Jews forever have voted left. That's just generally, right? Mm-hmm. Just as a general thing.
They're pathetic.
But the Democrat Party is in a tough situation because it's like they have the Jewish backing, influence, money, votes that have typically been on their side, and the Muslim vote, which doesn't have a lot of influence or money, but it has a lot of
numbers,
votes, literal votes. Yeah, way more than the Jews have, 100-fold. So the Democrats are in a tough situation because they really have to choose one or the other at this point.
They're going to pick the votes.
Well, they already did.
That's what I'm saying.
Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota, which has the largest Muslim population in America. So it's a very, and that's concerning looking at this situation because they had literally, it's like they literally had to pick between Josh Shapiro, which is almost stereotypical, like, you know.
Josh Shapiro.
Yeah, like stereotypical Jew. They had to pick between the Jewish vote and the Muslim vote, which Minnesota is so Muslim that they changed their flag this year to a flag that they changed their state colors and the shape of the flag to a flag. I think it was the Somalian.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen with all the
flag.
Muslims coming in. They're going to change America to that too.
Oh yeah, Somalia. They like changed their flag. So this is the Minnesota flag, the new one, and this is the flag of Somalia. It's like the same color, the same star, and then the old Minnesota flag looks nothing like this, right? Like, let's see, it's Minnesota flag. This is the old one. So it's not like they can say, oh yeah, we just reinvented it. No, it's a complete change.
Yeah.
Complete change. Again, now I don't know if they change it to be like now we are.
That's not a problem. If this continues with the American flag, it's going to change too. You'll see.
So it was concerning to me when I looked at that and I was like, okay, so with Josh Shapiro specifically, right? So he was a front runner, but then all this stuff came out where the like Muslim and not even just Muslim, because a lot of the Democrats now, or people that would be considering voting Democrat, everyone under 30 is on the side of like, we are fully pro-Palestine. That's the only important thing that we care about right now, right? Like that's what they're voting on. So Biden, that was a big nail in the coffin of Biden, was that he was very pro-Israel.
Correct.
And so he was losing the young vote. A lot of young voters were like,
Kamala's terrible for Israel.
Yeah, it's seeming like
it. It's a problem.
And so all of these young liberal voters were like trying to cancel Josh Shapiro because they were like, apparently his bar mitzvah had Israel stuff around it. Okay, right. Yes. And then like he's tweeted before supporting Israel, right? That's all he's done. And they were like, this is absurd. He can't be the VP, which is like insane. That's what every American politician has done forever, first of all.
Crazy.
And then so he literally went on stage and held a press conference and apologized for doing that. He apologized for, he's 40-something probably, right? He apologized for when he was 13 having an Israeli flag at his bar mitzvah.
How fucked up
what
is
a
that?
fucking sellout.
Because
he's very clearly pro-Israel, right? Like it's clearly, he's always been that way.
Him.
So to just give in to
for
that
the vote.
crowd.
He's a whore.
To become the VP, and then he didn't even get it.
What an asshole. No, it's a problem. Ronnie, if she wins, we're fucked.
And then apparently there are all these photos that the Kamala campaign has been posting about her rallies and stuff that are AI. They're not real photos.
Seriously.
You have like the crowds at her rally. Because now the whole thing between Trump and her, that both of them are like competing with, is the size of the crowds that they can pull in. Or like that's a big thing
you
that
think
the
that's
campaign.
True? That's
no,
AI for her?
I'll show you.
Is it AI for him too?
Not that I've seen. I'll show you just straight up. I'll show you.
No one knows what platform she's doing, what she's running on. I mean, no one knows what her
let's see. Kamala,
she's a fucking idiot.
AI. Here. So this picture was shared by the campaign of a huge crowd, right? Impressive crowd. This is not a good quality photo of it because I need to zoom in to show you the actual. Let's see if I can find a better one. Here.
That's cool.
Okay, so this they shared. And then you zoom in and you look at all of their phones, and so they're all taking photos or videos of a big plane, right? Air Force Two. But the plane is in none of the phones, right? Like, look, what is that? That's a black, and right, what is that a video of?
That's interesting.
It's a video of something at nighttime, right? The plane is in none of these. Look, that's just a white screen. And then there was someone's hand.
And the other one's even dark. Look to the left right there.
Yeah, look at these.
No, go to the left right there. Yep.
The plane is in none of these. And then there was someone in the front. They're like they had 2 fingers, 2 thumbs or something.
Interesting.
It's somewhere here. Someone else might. Let's see. We can watch a video that.
Is that on TV too? They can do that?
She posted that picture. What do you mean? Is it on TV that they can do that?
I mean, AI.
This is Kamala's latest fake AI rally. These are 3 phones pointed in the same directions, all with a different screen. And right here it is again, 4 screens pointed in the same directions, all different screens. And look at their heads and their arms and their fingers and their hands. None of it seems legit. In this one, in the bottom left a little bit, you can see a dinosaur on somebody's screen like they're watching Jurassic Park.
Is that a dinosaur? I don't think that's a dinosaur. But it's not it's a look, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all looking at the same thing, but the phones are all completely different.
In the top right-hand corner, you can see 2 phones pointed, one with a black screen and one with a white screen. And here's that dinosaur just a little bit closer. Nobody's watching Jurassic Park while they're supposed to be at a rally. I mean, maybe Kamala fans would, but not many people.
So scary. Isn't it wrong?
And then there's another thing
that?
where. So there's a picture.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait, there's a picture going around of Kamala getting out of the plane. No, a different one. And there's a bunch of people standing in front of the plane, but then this one, I guess. Is it this? No, this is still that same one. But look, so there's a bunch of people standing in front of this plane, but then people zoomed in on the plane, and there's no people reflected in the look. There's no people reflected in the plane.
Interesting.
But they're all standing right here. Wouldn't even these 2 guys be reflected in the plane?
Oh my God! But that's fraud. They shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Look, I mean, there's no people reflected at all.
Nothing.
It seems weird to me. Now, I don't know 100% if it's AI. This image specifically,
wow.
I remember someone put this through an AI, like, is this fake or not? Okay, well, then look, here's a video. It doesn't look like there's any people in the reflection there. I mean, you could fake video, too.
Let's see. Wait a minute.
That's a real video, it looks like. This looks real to me.
Yeah.
And there's no one in the reflections, though. It could be the way the lighting is. I don't know. Just weird when you look at it.
I fucking hate her. Ronnie, what, you think she can win?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
What's going to happen then? What's that?
This said, I haven't seen this one as part of her rally, but someone said this was shared by her rally and this is fake. I mean, yeah, look, this guy's forearms, his eyes are all fucked up. That guy's eyes are all fucked up. Her eyes are all fucked up. Their faces, his face. This is clearly an AI image, but I don't know if this was shared by her account. Someone could also just be lying and making a fake image.
What do we
and
do
then
if she
sharing
wins?
it.
Ron?
I don't know. She might very well win.
She's fucking.
We'll see.
You think she's going to have a debate with him?
Apparently, she just pulled out or something. They have to.
I thought September 10th they were doing something.
There was supposed to be one, but then it changed. I don't know.
Trump better get a shit in order.
Yeah.
He better start talking about what he's running on again, stick to that, not the personal
stick to the real
attacks.
issues. He needs to just talk about the border,
Yeah.
the economy.
Correct.
First of all, let's talk about the economy. The day that Kamala secured the amount of nominees, which she has now officially, like she secured the amount of delegates, the day she did, the economy, the American economy, let alone the world, but the American economy tanked the most since the Great Depression. $2.9 trillion were lost in the American stock market overnight when she secured the nomination. That's not a coincidence. It's the same day. That means that American industry is worried about her being president. That's what that means.
We're done. With Walz and her, we're done.
I looked at my stocks a week
look.
before because I checked once a week or so just to see. And then I looked after that, And it was heartbreaking. And I don't have that much in there. So I can't even imagine other people thinking like,
no, it's a problem. Listen, she can't win. You guys are screwed, Bron, if she wins. No, screwed.
Yeah.
She's worse than Biden. Go to the Pelosi thing. You'll see Pelosi put in Pelosi decision with Biden or something like that. I don't know. You'll see. It's a big thing.
This?
I don't know. Let's see what it says.
Oh, no, that's not it. Pelosi says the letter Biden announcing he was dropping out of the cage just didn't sound like Biden to her, no. This says, I don't know, let's just watch this.
I hate Pelosi
Persuade
too.
him to step aside.
Well, I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly, no.
Said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
Yeah, this is
I
it.
understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any precious party. Well, let me say things that
Look
I
at her.
didn't do.
Yeah, scary.
I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody.
Yeah, but so,
Please.
but you say that she's purposefully, because she's lying by telling the truth. It's like if I yelled at you in person, right? And I yelled at you, and then a week later you were like, you yelled at me, and I was like, I've never called you to yell at you. But I yelled at you in person. She said I never called one person.
She's literally by saying...
She should have said, I never spoke to a person, if you were telling the truth. But she said, I never called one person. That means she talked to them in person.
So she could have called 5 people.
True.
Go ahead.
Tell us what you told President Biden.
How does she have so much power?
To persuade him to step aside.
Look at her.
Well, I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly.
Oh, wait, this is what we just...
It said that he's...
Yeah, it just repeated.
Okay.
That was the video.
She said, there's an excerpt you get where she says that she... One minute.
The United States, to consequential President of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of President of the United States.
A Mount Rushmore kind of president.
Right.
Up there with Washington,
Well,
Roosevelt,
I want to watch
Lincoln.
This
I want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add to consequential.
How did
Teddy Roosevelt was one of the greatest presidents.
I have a question. Who the fuck does she know? She must have shit on somebody.
Oh, yeah, on everyone.
This is like Bubby being interviewed.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And the fact that she runs the stock market.
What the fuck? Look at her. I look at her face. I want to fucking take a bat to it. No, look. Who does she know? Bronson, how did she get to where she is? It's shocking. Aren't you shocked?
Evil shit she's done probably.
Fucking evil. Cruella, whatever fucking Cruella. She's, fuck. Trump better fucking win. He better stick to his teleprompter and he fucking better win.
Yeah.
He's a problem himself. His fucking mouth. It ain't going to work.
Yeah, he needs to stick to the message.
He needs to stick to what he's running on.
He's got a good message at this point, honestly.
When he did his 2016 campaign for presidency, that's what won him. He needs to go back and stick to that shit. One, make it great again. And how it was. He needs to talk about how it was when he was president. And now Kamala, who's part of the fucking Biden, right? She's the teammate. She's literally
she's the current vice president.
Right. How it was and is during that term, and that's what they're going to get another 4 years. They're going to get worse, by the way. If her and Walz win, it's going to be worse and more detrimental than when it was Biden and Kamala. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I'm very, 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 very fucking concerned. I can get more and more ammo. Seriously, it's going to be a problem. You know what's going to be the issue? First of all, Israel's going to have a major fucking problem.
What do you mean? Israel currently has so many problems.
But I still believe in
Israel's
Israel.
fucked.
No, I still have hope in Israel.
No, but the thing, and I know I've said this many times, but like, what's the end game in Israel? So let's say the whole world currently is hating on Israel right now. How do you come out of that? Let's say Israel even wins. And what does winning the war even mean?
What does it even mean? I agree.
There isn't a winning to the war.
But if Trump was there, he'd get it resolved right now. He would.
Get what resolved? The rest of the world hates Israel. Even if Israel lays down all their arms forever, for the rest of my life, everyone in the world will be like, Israel.
I think as people get older and fucking, the problem is the social media and the fucking anti-Semitism, I think it could change, but
people hate them so much.
It's terrible. They
people
hate Jews. They hate us.
Right. And so what? Do you think, really, you think people will just forget, like you just said, people get older? Do you think if Israel lays down all their weapons, a peace deal comes about, and then everyone just goes about their day, do you think everyone who was doing those encampments, all the people who were tweeting about how Jews control all the stuff, Jews are the worst, they blah, 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 do you think they're all just going to be like, oh, okay.
Okay, you know what?
No, these people feel this way now, and they're empowered to feel that way because of what Israel's been doing.
But if you get
and you can't stop that. It's out of the bag.
If you get the right person in office, there'll be protection. And look, I've grown up knowing people hate Jews all the time. It hasn't changed my life when I got any.
Yeah, but have you heard it on the news? Oh, it's a big problem because he's Jewish. No, you haven't heard that.
So I'll survive.
And that's out there now.
It is. The Jews will survive. But
of course. I mean, it is what it is. It's out there. But I'm not saying that. But you're like, but what's the end? No, I'm like, there is no end. We're fucked.
My point I'm trying to get at is that there could be two different avenues of what it could be for the Jews in Israel, depending on who's in office. That's the problem.
Yeah, but when you keep saying about the border, you're like, the damage is done. It doesn't matter if we clean it up now.
I still a little difference though. There's a big.
Of course, there's plenty of differences, but the idea of the damage is done to me is with Israel.
No, but
the damage is done. People who felt a little about Jews now in America, you don't see it because you're not online. The amount of just blatant Nazism that I see online that is just like, yes, this is okay now, is terrible. Rampant, and that's not going away because they're doing it.
I'm not saying this again. You're right.
So that damage is done.
Oh, you're right. I don't see that. But what I'm saying is that let's use your border analogy. I agree the damage is there, but it still could somewhat be different.
We can start to clean up and work towards it.
If we have Kamala and Walz in, then it's irreversible. See what I'm saying?
Yes, but there's already bad damage.
Yes,
that it's like, oh my God, this is so scary.
There is.
And that's what I'm saying about Israel.
I agree. There's no question. I agree with you, but there's a difference. I know that if Trump's in office, we can still resolve things in America.
I know, but what do you do at the 13 million that already came in or whatever? Even more than that, I think.
I don't know.
And then what do you do about Israel forever on the world stage? Like everyone looking at them and being like, you bombed children. Like you can't really come back from that.
Yeah, but that's a lie. But
20 years ago, Israel was respected on the world stage as a leader in technology and freedom.
But I'd rather have an ally of the fucking supposed to be the strongest country, America. I'd rather the leader be an ally for fucking Israel and Jews and have some and believe in America and want to have America ideology and things and democracy than someone who wants is so far socialistic, so far the whole political Democrats are all about votes, and even the Jews that are the Democrats are. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a fucking joke.
But even let's say you get a president or let's say someone's running as president and they're very pro-Israel or even moderately pro-Israel. My worry now, and this is the truth, I think, is that person could never win anyways anymore because the majority of Americans are like, fuck Israel. Because of all this. So you saying, yeah, but I don't care what anyone thinks as long as we have America as an ally. And it's like, you're never going to get Washington as an ally of Israel if more than 50% of Americans don't want it to be that way.
Okay, but
like if America, America was being an ally of Ukraine, and most Americans are like, we don't want this, right? And then so America, if someone was running on a pro-Ukraine platform, no one would vote for them. And that's how it is with Israel now. Even Trump gets so much backlash from left and right about supporting Israel. Like, you're not going, that day of America being the bastion of support for Israel and being, no, we are Israel supporters no matter what, we are the biggest allies in the world, those days are done because no one supports it anymore in any country. And that's what I'm saying is the damage is done. It's dangerous. And there's no coming back from that because a generation of people my age and younger look online and see, oh, Israel is killing babies for no reason. Now, I don't think that's the truth, but that's what they're being taught. And so you can never come back from that. It's like could you ever come back from if someone ran on a platform of I want to be a Nazi in Germany? No Germans in the 60s would be like, we're going to vote for you. They would be like, this is insane to even think that way. That's how it is in America now. Forget about the rest of the world.
Social media, it's all the fucking news and social
But
media.
so you're saying it doesn't matter what anyone thinks because as long as you're a leader, but what do you have to say about that? How can you ever get a leader that's pro-Israel?
Well,
now.
I'm talking about right now, if you fucking have Trump or Kamala, America and Israel is done with Kamala.
But
with
how could Trump run on a platform of
know,
pro-Israel when he's anti-Ukraine?
I'm not asking. Okay. We know when you look at the two, we know that Trump is not running on a platform for Israel. He needs to run into other things to get him in office. But 100%, we know if he's in there, that Israel will be, it's different.
Okay, and so then let's take the next step. So let's say Trump becomes president and he supports Israel 100%. What about the 75% of Americans, including his supporters, that are like, we don't want this, and they're protesting in the streets and they're freaking out because that's what people did about Ukraine. When they would send $13 billion to Ukraine, we were on this podcast and we were like, fuck Biden for doing this. And now Biden isn't running for president, right? Like, what about that? Even if the one person, Trump, is like, I want to do this, what if every other person is like, no? And then Congress, because everyone's like, no, they don't sign on to the bills because they're like, we can't support war crimes. And then the money never gets there. So it doesn't matter even if Trump is pro-Israel. Because Israel as an idea has lost its support.
I agree. But Israel,
and what do you do about that? There's nothing. The damage is done.
I think Israel will survive.
Oh, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be wiped off the face of the earth, but it's going to be a very different country if the world doesn't support it. You're not going to want to go there. You know, it's like the only reason that we felt safe going there was because the world supported it. You could walk around. It still felt a little unsafe when we would go. But you were like, this is a Western civilization. It's like, part of Europe and America.
If Kamala wins, Israel has the least of the concerns. America's done. Done. It's done.
Oh, well.
Done.
Wait, what did you say?
America's done if Kamala wins.
Oh.
Done.
Okay, yeah, but that has nothing to do with Israel.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, I want to help Israel. We have even bigger problems. We're done.
Yeah. The only people in America that are still pro-Israel, really, are Jews. And we don't have enough votes to do anything. And no one gives a fuck about us either at this point.
But the Jews have money.
Yeah,
There's a lot of power and money.
I know, but no one wants that money anymore, honestly. Look at Josh Shapiro. Josh Shapiro was wealthy and a governor, and he sold himself out for the power. His brother was like a Hollywood executive. They have a lot of power and money, that family. Didn't do them shit because most people were like, no, fuck you.
I don't know. I'm trying to be a little more optimistic and hopeful about Israel. The Jews,
and I said from the start
the
that
people hating. Yes, you did, but the people hating Jews, I've always known that. I'm not surprised by any of that. It's unfortunate.
I know, but there's a difference between when you were a kid, people being like, Jews are cheap, to now they publicly on Twitter say Jews control us and we need to take our country back. They say that. Like, they straight up say that. Not just random people that were on your school bus. Like, politicians.
Well, look what happened with the Holocaust. More than that, random people.
Exactly. That's my point.
And the Jews survived.
Barely
but they
survived.
But they survived. And look how they prospered since then.
Yeah, but you can't, like,
look at Japan.
Okay, so you want another Holocaust?
No, I don't want any of it.
Exactly.
But look at Japan. You said, what, in the 50s they got with the nuclear bomb, and look how they've prospered.
Yeah,
I hear you, Bron. I understand it's a concern, and I'm.
But also, if the Holocaust happened today, with technology and military technology and all that stuff, there would be zero Jews that survived it. The only reason that Jews survived it is because they were slow at killing us. And they were very fast at killing us. They had fucking towns built just to kill us. And it was inefficient because they could only fit 100 people in the gas chamber at a time, right? So it was just 100 at a time. You don't think with modern day technology, they could just fly drones over and just fucking select for, if the Nazis were alive today, they could and the Nazis were at the forefront of technology. They were most of the only reason NASA exists and the only reason we got to the moon was because we stole Nazi technology, right? Like, they were at the forefront of it. So you don't think nowadays, if the Nazis came to power and were running a country on the premise of exterminating Jews, they would be able to do it within 6 months, kill all of us. Because Jews have different genetics, right? Like 23andMe. If you give your genetics into them, they can tell, a Jew versus a non-Jew by your genetics fully. So you don't think the Nazis would be able to create a virus that only kills Jews and they just release it to the world like COVID and all Jews die? Like the only reason that we survived Nazi Germany was because the Nazis were not as efficient as they could be. If it happened in 2025 with...
All right, then we'll go out with a fight. We'll take many of them with us.
How would we? I guess Israel could, but yeah, it's scary.
Now, right now, my main concern is Trump winning.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing to me right now. She wins, we're done. We're fucking done. You know, I'm telling you, I don't know if you realize how bad it is. It's that bad.
I honestly don't realize how bad it is because I don't. She hasn't talked about her vision for the future.
If she and the other guy win, we're done.
Why?
The amount of people that will be coming in illegally will be unbelievable. The amount of drugs.
Why she has said, "I want drugs to come into this country illegally."
My point is, it's her. It's the mentality. It's the.
But how do you know this? It's just a feeling you have.
No, but it's from seeing all different shit, and you know they're her.
She said, "I want open borders."
No, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It's not like
I know, but I'm pushing back because I think it's unfair to say all these things and not really have support for it. It's they're feelings you have. No. It's not factual things. She hasn't said, I want drugs coming across the border.
No one says I want drugs coming across the border.
But then why are you saying if she wins, drugs are coming across the border?
Because of all the legal people, more people will be coming over. There'll be more and more drugs.
But as she said, I want illegal people coming over the border?
Under her 4 years, she's done 3.5 years, she's done nothing to prevent it.
True.
Okay? Nothing to prevent it. And you know she's been the, quote, the czar of the border.
Yeah.
All right? 2 is she chose a running mate who is even more progressive and more left than she is. What's that say? We know that she is not in really support of Israel. We know that she is very liberal in her views. We hear her talk. We know her statistics are the worst in what people thought of her. We know that she would not be here if people were to vote for her to be a candidate. She was put in by the fucking Gestapo.
Right. So that's my point about all this is that like her. So do you think that Biden is actually full on making decisions and running this country right now?
No.
Or has he been really at any point?
No.
Okay. Right. So that means there are other people that are doing it. Right. And he's just kind of the face. Right. And she's part of his face. She's part of that administration.
But now she'd be different as president, I think.
No, I disagree. I think the only reason they chose her and put her in like the Gestapo, like you said, the only reason they installed her is because they know that she's a pushover.
No,
they know that she'll be the face.
That's not,
she's never had a strong opinion about anything. But so I think that she's been in office for 4 years, right? And it hasn't got, not more people have been pouring into the border. It's been the amount of people that have been pouring into the border. I think the second she takes office, it's the same people who are making the decisions.
I don't agree with you.
Why?
Because
do you think she's going to come in and turn around on the people that were in her right? So if you think Biden Harris, the VP, the president and vice president, for the last 4 years, that they have bosses, right? Because if you don't think that they're making the decisions and that there are other people making the decisions, then that means they have bosses or whoever those people are. Wait, but you just admitted you think that, right? Biden wasn't making the decisions. So that means there are people that we don't know who their names are that are making the decisions. Do you think on day one she's going to turn around and be like, fuck you, I'm not listening?
Right.
No.
First of all, lower your fucking voice, homeboy.
She's going to... The only reason that they put her in, she's not likable. She's not. The only reason they chose her is because they know that they have her.
That's not the only reason.
They know that they have her.
It's not the only reason. They put her in because of the money. The amount of money that was given,
come on, you don't think that they could finesse that shit? They finessed other things.
You
think now all of a sudden they follow the rules?
Well, no, I don't think they could have used that money.
Why? They change the rules whenever they want. That's what they do. It's what they did with the voting. It's what they did with the border.
I am telling you, with her in office and the other guy in office, Biden.
But why do you think it would get worse under Biden?
Because I think Biden. It wasn't until the past couple of years when he started losing it that he wasn't not making his decision.
You think in the first year of his presidency, he was calling the shots? You don't think it was the deep state that was?
I don't know. I got to tell you, I think she's gonna be worse than Biden.
Trump's whole thing even was that even when he was president, he couldn't get shit done because the powers that be were fighting him at every step.
I do agree with what you're saying, but I think she's going to be worse than Biden. That's what I'm just telling you.
I think it's going to be business as usual.
Nope.
Because these people...
It's going to be worse. It's going to be fucking worse, Bronson.
Okay.
It's going to be worse. You guys are fucked and your kids are fucked if she wins.
Okay.
Seriously, I'm telling you right now. Call it gut instinct, whatever you want to say. Say you don't think I have the facts behind it, whatever. I'm telling you right now, I believe I'm 1,000% correct. I hope I'm fucking wrong. Fucked. The cost of goods, the gas, inflation, everything, done. Her running mate is more progressive, it's even more socialistic than we can even imagine.
Yeah, but we've all agreed on this show and in the world that the VP doesn't matter and do anything. Okay. Because Kamala didn't matter or do anything in this administration.
I'm just telling you, the team, it's going to be a fucking problem. We're done. Done. Fucking people better vote fucking Trump, and he better get his shit together.
All right.
I love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Bye, everybody. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me.
The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.